Good evening, sports fans. I'm happy to have you here with us tonight. I just wanted to throw a quick shout out to one of our sponsors. That would be Upside. If you have not checked out that app, it's definitely saving everybody money right now with gas prices so high. So check out Get Upside today. Use our code SAM363682. But more importantly, joining me tonight is Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks head coach / director of personnel, Rico Brown. So we're going to bring him in. And how are you doing tonight, Coach Brown?
It's good, and we're gonna correct you there. It's the first teaching moment. It's called Wenatchee.
Oh, I was sorry about that.
Wenatchee. That's okay. That's okay. That's actually the first time I've actually heard somebody say it that way. So
really.
Kind of like Puyallup. Everybody sees Puyallup in Washington, and then it's like, but pull up, pull out. No.
I'm like,
so it's all good.
Well, that is definitely, I should have known better, honestly. I think somebody's corrected me on that in the past, but.
It's okay. It's all right. We got you.
I appreciate that. So I'm curious. I saw that you were a former player. Obviously, I figure you probably started playing at a young age. When did you first develop your love for football?
I would probably say the age of, that's a good question. Well, I'd probably say the age of 4. My older brother, shout out to him, if he's watching, Charles Hughes. He played football locally here, and I'm from Seattle, Washington. So he played locally, played at Rainier Playfield, which is the same field I played on as a kid. But played for Rainier, went to Franklin High School, went to Newport High School, went back to Franklin, and went to junior college. And that's when I was born. I was about 4 years old, and I went out to go watch a game. And my mother told me that she said that, you would be sitting there intently watching and grabbing helmets and stuff like that. And, grabbing your brother's helmet and wanting to put it on and wear jerseys. And we'd go to the local store down the way, Pay and Save, and there would be football cards there. And I actually didn't think I would be a coach or a football player. I thought I would be a architect. Because I would go downstairs. It's funny because I would go downstairs and I would make makeshift stadiums downstairs. So, when I wasn't watching football, I'd be downstairs in the basement putting football cards together and taking Uno cards and making football teams and baseball and building a stadium downstairs. So anyway, long story short, young age, 4 years old, my older brother was my role model. I mean, he was my everything, you know what I'm saying? And, that's where the love of football came. So.
Absolutely. So would you say it's kind of a family sport then?
It is for sure. My brother, I also have family ties in Tyler, Texas. So, who you're probably, if you watch a lot of football and a historian of football, then Cousins is, Earl Campbell. So that's my father's, my grandmother's, his grandmother, or excuse me, Earl's mother and my grandmother were cousins. So that's
interesting.
So yeah, but football's always been there. I love it, and I've been following it since I could walk and talk.
Absolutely. Your quarterback's tuning in. He says, "What's up?" So awesome to see that. He'll be on the channel in a couple weeks. Coach speaks very highly of him.
I love my guys. The guys that play for us this season, everybody that we had purpose here. And, this was a special season for us. After coming back from, after COVID, the COVID season, not having a team last year, but having a travel team last year, how difficult it was for the squad. Last year, I spent the summer away from football away from football, taking care of my family and stuff. So I came back this season, and the opportunity came up where we were going to play again, and I was a full head of steam. Just Mr. Hall gave me a call. Shout out to him, Theo Hall, and he said, "Hey, we need you to come back." Originally, and we'll talk about. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have questions about it, but in 2020, I got back involved with the team, but COVID hit, and we had a dynamite staff, and I was actually working, doing some work in Seattle with the XFL, doing their stuff, doing their game day operation stuff, and I was trying to go back and forth and working back and forth in communication with the staff, and COVID hit, and I'm on the phone, and I'm like, "Hey, we're in a, this COVID thing is real, you guys. Let's figure out what we're going to do." And then XFL shut down. I get a call that said, "Hey, we're going to have games with no fans." And I was like, "That's an interesting concept." Okay. And then they called me a couple hours later. They're like, "Yeah, we're done." I'm like, "Wow. Okay." So hey, fellas, I think we should, revisit this in a couple months. And then we lost the season in 2020. So, but I'm excited. I'm happy that we get an opportunity to. We got an opportunity this season to come back, and the goal was to get to the championship and win it. That's why we're here. And unfortunately, we came up short. And congratulations to those guys in the rush. They is that me? Hopefully that's not me, is it?
What's up?
Oh, well, the feedback. Sorry. But anyway, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So we got an opportunity to play this season and play the rush, and the goal is to get to the championship and and win it. And obviously we didn't, but we got some momentum going, and we're trying to build a fan base over there and trying to continue to push forward.
Absolutely. I apologize for the background noise at the moment. When you first started playing and really realized football was your passion, was coaching always kind of in the back of your mind after your playing career, or was it just out of the question at the point?
Well, I believe that I would have an opportunity. I like the fact that I really was trying to gear my career towards scouting, and but that's all encompassed in it, being able to find the talent and find the guys that, putting the pieces together to win the championship. It definitely was, on our radar. I mean, because you can't play football forever. And so, but I like the opportunity. I like the fact that I'm able to go out and, look at, talent and be able to, pick that diamond in the rough and giving them an opportunity, what I'm saying? And being able to see things that most people won't be able to see, and have that translate on the field. And then, hopefully that team can win a championship. So, that was my goal of doing this. And so, but yeah, coaching is there, but putting it together it's fun. It's a fun opportunity. You get to see a lot of guys, and, it's a challenge, but at the same time too, I'm there for it. So.
Absolutely. So in a way, you kind of ended up an architect just of a football team instead of, buildings and whatnot.
Yeah, indeed. Moving pieces, but yeah. Yes, definitely. Absolutely.
So during your playing career, I noticed that you primarily played the defensive side of the ball. You played cornerback, correct?
I played corner, yes. I grew up a huge fan of Dave Brown, rest in peace. He used to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you hate that name or hate that team, but no, I was just kidding. But he was with the Seattle Seahawks, and he wore number 22, and he wore number 22, and my last name was Brown. A lot of kids thought that was my father, but I'm like, no, my father drives trains. So no, but Dave Brown was an influence to me, and I got a chance to see the Kenny Easleys play, and the Raiders, Lester Hayes, and Mike Hayes, and that watching the DBs, play for the Seahawks back in the days, that's what I wanted to do. So playing corner, I had good feet, and good, speed. And so they put me at, they ended up putting me at free safety my first couple years when I was playing and then they moved me to corner, and it turned out that I was pretty good at it. So on the high school level, and then went to college and played at Central Washington University. Went to junior college at first. Played at Walla Walla Community College. For all my Warriors, what's up if they're watching? But yeah, we got an opportunity at the college level and took advantage of it.
Absolutely. So after Walla Walla, you spoke about it just a second ago, you end up at Central Washington University. You end up playing for former NFL player John Zamberlin, correct?
Yes, Coach Z, Coach Zamberlin. And it's an interesting story because Central Washington was an hour and a half away from Seattle, and they were an NEIA school at the time, and now they're a Division II, and they just joined the Lone Star Conference. But at that time, Central was a powerhouse as far as the D2, as far as the NEI level. We had a different schedule, so a lot of the guys that played on our team were kind of overlooked, but they were good football players. A lot of guys came from the Tacoma area, but Coach Zamberlin, Jeff Zenasek was my coach.
Gotcha.
Not Zamberlin. Zamberlin actually came from, now I'm thinking about it, Zamberlin came from Eastern Washington over there, and his last season was in '97. So I played for Jeff Zenasek.
All right, so I must have found some incorrect information because the info I saw was that his last season was '98.
No. Yeah. So Zamberlin actually, it's funny that you going back to the coaching aspect, Zamberlin actually offered me a position as a GA coming out of school. So he said long hours, he kind of wanted to see where I was at, but and I didn't take it at the time because I was still trying to pursue playing football. So and I had started my son, I started a family a little bit. So, I had my son, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that yet, but I stayed with football, no doubt, watching and still trying to play a little minor league football so I can get an opportunity. So, but yeah, I played for Jeff Zenasek from '94 to '96 season. We won a national championship with that '95 team, and that was a great football team. A lot of bounce backs and a lot of hungry guys on that football team. So
absolutely. So what are some things that you took from your college coaches that you still pass down to players that you coach today?
Just being able, it's changed because the athletes that I'm coaching now, they're a little bit different. I was blessed to have a good group over in Wenatchee this season. We went through a lot. Trying to get through this season. Our circumstances were similar to many across the board, but we went through a lot. And I'm proud of, like I said, although the results didn't get us, we got to the championship, we didn't win it, but if you would have just seen all the things that we went through just to get to that point, we were a strong we were a strong group. And I have to give a lot of credit to the guys that helped me, Coach Gonzalez and James Gonzalez, Jimmy Gonzalez, Coach G, and Ronnie Rosendahl, and Chris Irish Blue. Those guys, they helped me and kept me going. My favorite coach coming out of college, I took some of the stuff from my old high school, Coach Vic Miner. He helped me a lot. He was a former NFL defensive back. He was one of the original Seahawks, and he's still a mentor to me to this day. And we talk, constantly, and just, do your best that you can relate to the kids, stay firm, and, just be in their corner. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to always agree with you, but, if you stick to your principles, if you say something, stick by it, So you got to make the adjustments. Obviously, the game adjusts, so you just got to roll with it. Listen to your players, and make the bet. Do what you can to be successful. So. But my credit goes to them guys. Like I said, my staff, they keep me grounded. The people that still have in my life, they keep me grounded as well.
Absolutely. It's safe to say in football that you need the proper team around you to succeed at the level that you guys have. So, I mean, it's awesome to hear that you have so many supportive members around you that it helped you get to that point.
Yeah, definitely.
So talk to me about your playing career after college. We touched on it briefly just a minute ago. You said you played some minor league ball. I know you went overseas for a little bit. So where did you all end up playing?
Well, in 2000, I graduated. I lost my father in 1998, 97. I took the year off to graduate from college. I ended up going and playing for the Snohomish County Vikings, who no longer exist, but at the time, the minor league that we had, we basically coming out of school, you had a couple options. You had the NFL Europe, CFL, the European League, which is still thriving to this day, and then a couple of arena teams. And I tell the kids all the time, I say, man, if you would have came out when I was coming out of school, you guys wouldn't have been able to play for these. There's so many leagues out here now, so many more opportunities for us. So I ended up going to play in Hamburg, came back over on the Hamburg Huskies, and actually a teammate of mine now, who's the commissioner of the GFL, Patrick Izum, which is crazy. I was seeing his picture and I was like, you're a commissioner now. This guy was a student of the game then, and he loves the game so much, and he's turned European Football League into, I'm proud of that guy. So Patrick did a great job of turning everything around right now. But I played there, came back, had a couple opportunities as far as tryouts and things of that nature. The indoor football game would come into Washington and leave, like Yakima, Shockwave, and Portland Prowlers. But I stayed with it, played a little, still stayed in the minor league game and stuck with it. And opportunity came up for coaching and went down to San Angelo, worked out down there with Coach Meadow Lemon, and still came back. It came back to Seattle and got into coaching. Coaching minor league football, coaching high school football, seeing a lot of great athletes come out of the Seattle area. We're just not known, we're not only known for basketball, but we have some good football players that are playing in the NFL right now, former NFL players on television like Nate Burleson and things of that nature. So, which is my old high school, by the way. Shout out to all you O'Day Irish, Fighting Irish. My alumni and everybody watching too. But my career, like I said, in and out of minor league football, opportunities there, took advantage of them. Got honored, huge honors from Pacific Northwest Hall of Fame and minor league reports Hall of Fame, and just got an opportunity, and met some great people along the way, and continue to meet people along the way that, you never burn a bridge with somebody. You always want to make sure that you keep things intact, because you never know what a person's going to do, later in life.
Absolutely. 100% true. So we talked about your career as a player. You were very determined, obviously, playing in the minor leagues, taking whatever opportunity you could get. How do you feel your background at this level helps you as a coach, coaching guys that are basically going through the same thing you experienced?
Great question. Perseverance. just trying to help them guys understand the bigger picture, and that's the goal of, that's the reason why we created this opportunity for guys, just being able to go out, if you've played ball all these years, and something might not go your way, but you just got to continue to fight. You just got to continue to put some good film out there, and, being able to be coachable and things of that nature. We created that, I say we, guys like Chris Reynolds, guys like Brandon Tate, guys like Ryan Dart, we created an opportunity for these guys, and giving them an avenue, and so to answer your question, we are about the players, and I understood how it was to get rejected and, said no and continue to show out the film. And I just, like I said, just want to provide an opportunity for them, because you never know. I take a guy like Hassan Neil Evergreen, coming up here from St. Louis, drove his car for an opportunity, and I wanted to, guys like him that are dedicated to the game and want to make it. I want to help those type of guys. And so, giving them a platform, that a platform that I really truly take advantage of, but I want to make sure that they get the opportunity to shine. And so that's what it's there for. That's what I'm here for, and I'll continue to do that for these guys, because it's about them. It's not about me.
Agreed. And I mean, I love the way you handle it. I mean, I've told you this off camera. You're one of the few coaches that have contacted me to promote your players because you think they deserve a shot, because they've earned that shot. And the way you interact with your players, you're out there, you're fighting for them. That's how a head coach should be. I mean, if you want to build a relationship with your players, help them get to the next level. And that's what you're doing. And it struck me immediately that I was like, man, this is the type of guy that if I was playing, I would want to play for you, because you're going to have your players back. And I mean, I really admire your coaching style and the way you handle your players.
Yeah. Well, again, I appreciate that. And it goes back to the staff that I have and the support that I have. And, and also, Sam, there's some other things too that, I mean, I have to make some tough decisions, and do what's best. I'm always going to look out for the individuals, but also too, I'm going to look out for those 24 guys in the locker room too. So there's the other side of it. And a lot of players don't see it that way, but, it's a lesson. And this is professional football. I got treated as professional football, and so, it's tough, but, sometimes being let go could be that blessing for somebody else. So I look at it both ways, but the guys that I have, the guys that I've worked with, great talents. And, like I said, I'm excited about 2023. You see, I got my board here and players that been in my house, they've seen this board. I got another board, guys. And so, but just writing down the goals and making sure that we take care of them. And, that's what this thing is all about.
100%. And I mean, the way, like I said, the way you approach it, and really the way the league approaches it, from everybody I've interacted with, they're all very much on the same page. You guys are very much about promoting the players, which it's very encouraging to see. That's what every league should be about, in my mind.
Yeah. We fight on the field. We battle on the field, but when it comes to the overall, I sneak over and, it's funny because I was like, hey, I tell Coach Reynolds, I was like, with the Idaho Horsemen, I know he's developed relationships over time, and shout out to him for, help, creating this, for all of us here in the Pacific Northwest, because we want to be able to display the talent from this local area. And we've been blessed to have the kids coming from Arkansas, the Georgia, the Florida, the Texas, the California, to display their talents too, and so it's cool to go over and pat a kid on, like pat a guy like Mo, or pat a guy like Day, or, and say, hey man, I'm rooting for you too, off the field, I'm rooting for you. You can't beat us today, but I'm still rooting for you to make it.
That's a good way to look at it as well. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a pretty small league, and I don't say that as a bad thing. I mean, you guys probably have a very close relationship with one another, and I think that's a good thing as well, because you're all pushing for the same goal.
Yeah, we want to build this thing. It's not. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But we're trying to do something, and like I said, keep in mind, every day you wake up, I'm trying to make this thing better. I'm trying to make these guys better, and I'm trying to make this product better. And I'm always in people's inboxes. I got people's phone numbers. I'm shooting them text messages from the IFL people to the CIF people, and it's not just so more for my guys. You know what I'm saying? If I see somebody talented from the Tri-Cities Rush or the Idaho Horsemen or the Oregon team, I'm hey, come and look at this guy, So, and XFL is coming up right now, and there's a couple people out there. I know that a lot of guys from USFL are going up to XFL. Guess what? There's opportunity at the USFL now. If these guys leave, there's going to be opportunities there. Why not have create the film? One thing I want to share with you too is that I'm always telling the guys that are not signed, or right now they're still trying to wait and see. Don't look past us. Don't look past the past opportunities. You're better signed with somebody than you are on the street. So if you think that XFL is going to come knocking on your door, or the NFL is come knocking on your doors, if somebody else comes, you might want to take that chance. You know what I'm saying? And sign with them, because you're going to need film, because that's what they want. So from my experience of what people are saying, you got an opportunity to play professional football, and get an opportunity to say you're a pro football player. Why not? So
Agreed. Yeah, definitely. There's a thought process there that can be very beneficial to players, absolutely, and a lot of times, because one of the big things that holds a lot of guys back is the film aspect. You hear it time and again. You don't have enough film. You don't have the right film. Whatever it may be. And yeah, I mean, your point is very, very valid. But getting back to your career in 2020, you actually serve as kind of an advisor and help with scouting. You said with the XFL?
With the Wenatchee Skyhawks.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing with the XFL was just game day. I also do audio and video for the sports teams here in the state in Seattle area. Excuse me. So, but working closely and seeing, building relationships there. But I was the scouting, helping out with the Wenatchee when we went into 2020. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, we had a great staff. I mean, that 2020 season, Coach Meadow Lemon, Mike Bonner, Keith Evans. That was a pretty good group that was over there. And, like I said, COVID hit and, things went away. And so we had to retool and come back again. And last year they operated as a travel team. And so I kind of kept, I went down, I had a family situation. But I kept tabs on the guys. And I encouraged a few players to sign with us to get an opportunity. And guys like, shout out to Joe Martin and LeGrant Pegram. Guys is making names for themselves across the board. And I'm looking forward to just continue to, push, the Lorenz Stephens and the Max Novak and Nakia Browns and, Gabe Collins, our MVP, our defensive MVP. He still got a lot of work to do, but, he knows. And so smile, Gabe, you'll be okay. And Stephen Henry and all these guys, that played for me this season. So hopefully these names I'm saying I'm hoping somebody scouts watching this and writing their names down, making sure that these guys get some looks. So, but there's a lot of talent that when you talk about 2020, it's funny because the guys actually in 2021, a lot of those guys that was on that Wenatchee team were scouted and everything. They went to Oregon to play with Keith Evans, and so the following year. And so now one of the ones I'm really proud of is Chris Lewis to play for the San Diego Strike Force. So yeah. So you play in the AWFC, you might get a look. I'm just saying. I ain't promising you anything, but you might get a look.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like you said, you're collecting a paycheck to play football. You're getting film out there. You're getting an opportunity to showcase what you can do. So there's a lot of reasons why you would want to take a contract rather than waiting for whatever may come down the road.
Yes.
Absolutely. How do you feel your ties with the XFL and these other organizations helped you as a coach in 2022?
Being able to watch, being able to study and understand what's going on, how to operate football teams. That's what I sat back and watched, and I actually got it. I mean, with me becoming the head coach this season, I kind of we had some situations at the beginning of the season, and I was named the head coach, and I just at first it was like, wow, they're gonna make me the head coach. Okay, great, I'm ready to go. What do I need to do? You know what I'm saying? So who do I need to help? And like I said, when it comes to having an OC like I did with Ronnie and my defense coordinator who has 25 years of experience in coaching, you can lean on them. You can ask questions, and what I did was, all the experience that I've had in the past, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna let you coach the offense. I'm gonna let you coach the defense. I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. You guys are the generals out here. Anything that you don't like, we're gonna change it. You know what I'm saying? So, we communicated, we talked, and they made me a better coach. Every game they made me a better coach, and I'm thankful, for all three of them and the staff that we had, at Wenatchee. So, the support was amazing. We had our battles off the field, but that's what you do. But if you would have on the outside looking in, zero incidents over there in Wenatchee, and that's a great thing. So, I held up many hats for the team, but I'm proud of the effort that we put together, and I'm looking forward to 2023 with these guys.
I am also looking forward to 2023. I expect to be covering the league a lot closer going forward. Actually, speaking of which, we'll have Stefan on, we'll have Novak on, and Nakia Brown on, all within the next couple weeks. So definitely make sure, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you hit the like button. First of all, let's push Coach Brown out to new viewers, and then make sure you tune in for all those episodes so you can see what great players he's speaking about right now.
Yes. All three of them is great story. All three of them have great stories. Nakia being a military guy, going into the military and serving our country the way he did, and he is a competitor. Coach B, hey, Coach B, I got you, we're going to make it work. And I'm like, okay, Nakia, and then got guys like Max Novak, who came in, Max and Lorenz came in mid-season and just lit it up. I mean, it was just exciting to watch those guys work, and Calvin Lowe and Gary Fuller, what I'm saying, and Jordan Laurencio, our second team, all AWFC running back line. That's another story in itself, but but we have some good ball players, and you guys should tune in and listen to their story too, because their story is unique or their story is just like you guys' story. You know what I'm saying? So, tune in for that though. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, as am I. I mean, it's been a lot of fun covering the AWFC and learning more about all of you guys' careers and how you all ended up here. And you in particular were a lot of fun to research, because we found out that 2022 was really your first season as a head coach, and it went particularly well for you. I mean, you end up in the championship game, and I like how you put it earlier. You let your coordinators coordinate, and you oversaw everything. That's how a head coach should operate. You trust the coaches underneath you.
Yeah.
But other than that, what do you believe brought the success that they did not find in 2021 before you arrived?
In 2021, it was just different. People asked to step in and cover for the season, and there was a lot of talent there. But what we wanted to do, and I watched. I went back and watched a few games, and I saw a few players that were on that team, and I worked with with the general. Actually, the story was at the beginning of the season, Coach Lemon was supposed to be the head coach, and he decided to just step into an advisory role, and the owner and the general manager at the time decided to make me the head coach, and so we had pretty much had the nucleus together. The only thing, the mistake I made was I started outside, and when I say outside, I started at the skills and didn't focus in on the line. So as the season went on, I, with the help of my outside guys and Coach Hall, or Mr. Hall, excuse me, just helped piece this thing together. So we had our ups and downs. I had to let guys go. That's part of the coaching. But at the same time too, just mixing and matching and trying to make things work, that it was a rush. It was fun, and so once we got midway through the season, things start clicking, finding the right pieces, and boom, we get in the playoff, get a playoff opportunity. It did something that hadn't been done. It has only been done once before we got there, and win a playoff game in Idaho, which is a very difficult place to play. If you haven't watched our game, even more difficult was Tri-Cities. And Oregon has some great fans too. But I'm hoping that, next year when people come to Wenatchee, we give everybody business. We were 4-1 this season at home. So that's an accomplishment in itself too. So, but like I said, I can't wait till 2023, man. So build this team up and, get going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So talk to me about what drew you to the AWFC in the very beginning, before you were the head coach.
Before I was a head coach, actually in 2017, 2018, Chris Reynolds, reached out to me, and, he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about, doing something with Idaho." And I jumped on board with him, and Chris and I have a 30-year relationship outside of football around that, because we met in college. Like, he was a freshman and I was a sophomore in college. And so having that relationship with him, I wanted to help him build. And, ultimately, like, my thought process was the players in the Pacific Northwest, the guys from Washington, the guys from Idaho, the guys from Portland. I want to make sure that they have an opportunity to play out here. I don't want them to go to play in the NAL. I don't want them to play over here. I want them to, keep their talent at home. And so that's what that was the goal, and bringing us all together, like Mr. Hall and, Ryan got involved. That's what drew me to the AWFC. Like I said, we're in our infant stage. It's like trying to get to that 5-year mark. Any business pops at 5 years if you've done your studies and things of that nature. So, like, putting the blood, sweat, and tears into a league to make it a better league and make it credible. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I was trying to do, like, from behind the scenes, doing everything I can to promote it, and giving somebody that's playing currently in Washington or Oregon in the Pacific Northwest Football League, or the now it's called the GDFL, Pacific Northwest. Those type of guys that we can go out there and support them and help their players be seen. And at the same time too, we're working hand in hand to get these guys an opportunity. So
Absolutely. I love how you guys are approaching it because honestly, if you think about it, if you look at the other leagues, the IFL, the NAL, they don't really cater to that upper West Coast. There's a lot of teams all out throughout Texas, the lower West Coast, into the East Coast with the NAL, but it doesn't, not a whole lot of Oregon-based teams or Washington-based teams.
And let me take this back. I'm gonna take this one back a little bit. I want to be clear when I say that. I was like, if you can't, I want a player to be successful and go to IFL and in National Arena Football, Arena League, and CIF. Okay, if they get an opportunity, But I believe that we can work together, in overall, we can work together, to get these guys the look, and so I want to give them it's all about that opportunity for them. Give them film, get them opportunity that families can see him play. If a guy is not, if a guy's a borderline, a bubble guy for the IFL, come up here and get some film. We run, communicate too with the coaches and the staff that's with those teams and say, hey, what systems do you run? We want to help each other out, and then, if guy gets a look, but we are totally focused on the 4 teams, the Idahos, the Oregons, Tri-Cities, the champions, and then us. We're trying to work this thing together to make this thing a better product. So,
Absolutely. So one of my guys that I would prefer that you check out if you don't mind, his name is Christian Cavanis. He's tuned in.
Wait. We're gonna have to have this on you're gonna have to hit me on the PM with that, man, because you putting that information out there on that guy, man. I gotta break him. No,
I'm sorry.
I gotta break him. You can't tell these guys because these guys are gonna look him up and be like, oh, hey, what, Sam? No, I want him. No, just kidding.
Good point.
No, I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. Hey, promote your guys. Hey,
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. If he can play defense, play offense, he can do everything. We want him.
Absolutely. Well, he's a running back, wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner top guy. He says you've spoken before, actually. Probably true. He goes by Boogie, by the way, but he's great dude. One of
running back
type guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Call him Boogie because he likes to shake guys. So he's pretty nimble dude. He's coming off an injury right now, but he should be ready by the time your guys' season kicks off. So definitely a guy worth looking at.
Well, it was slide. You know the drill. You got my cell number. All we gotta do is look at the film and make some contacts. I can't sign nobody till October. So
gotcha. Yeah, definitely. At the very worst, we'll get you guys in contact because I think you guys would hit it off on a person per person basis, on if nothing else. You know what I mean? He's just, like I said, he's a great guy. I'm a big fan of him, dude. So just always trying to upsell him as a person because he's just greatest of people as far as I'm concerned. But back to the point, what does the league offer for coaches and players looking to advance their careers?
Basically, opportunities to work and get some work underneath your belt. Opportunity to perfect your craft and on the field and off the field. Like I said, we had 0 incidents, knock on wood. I think the only thing that and that's part of this business too. You got to be able to handle this stuff on the field and off the field. Be a professional. They're still working. Like I said, not everything's gonna be perfect with us, but we try to do our best to make sure that if we send somebody up to a CFL, we send somebody to the NFL, they're ready to go on the personal level as well. They'll be able to handle the moment. And so, we give them an opportunity, opportunity to work their craft, get better. There's a lot of things as a first year coach. There's so many things that I missed. And one thing I could say to coaches, get a mentor, get somebody that you can bounce things off of that, outside of it. I'm always encouraging that, my mentor, like I said, with Vic Minor, I call him, I actually see him at least once or twice a week, just because we work together And so, how'd your weekend go? Great. We lost this game. Why'd you lose? Oh, well, I did this. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't prepared for this. You know what I'm saying? And write it down. And it's like, well, you get into a situation like 3rd and 4, you should do this. You know what I'm saying? Here's why. So, player wise, just making sure that, you staying in shape and doing everything that you can, to get on the field and do what you need to do to get the right film out there, So study your playbooks, working out, and making your film proper, making a 3-minute film, not 5-minute films, 12 minutes, but just preparing yourself, So not every coach is going to have your, most of the coaches should have your back and should be able to help you get to the next level. But you got to stay prepared too, And so watching what you put on your social medias and things of that nature, because trust me, people like myself and people that are out there are really looking at what you're doing, So
absolutely.
Hope I answered your question the right way, but
oh yeah, 100%. You're perfectly fine. Basically, I wanted to highlight the league, and you give us a unique perspective into how the league operates. I mean, you've been an executive, you're now a coach, you're doing a little bit of both. So, I mean, I really wanted you to kind of take the opportunity to tell free agents and guys that are out there what you guys offer. I mean, whether it's coaches or players or whatever it may be, because honestly, I think the AWFC is building something amazing. It's only a matter of time before you guys really pop.
Yeah. And make sure that, like I said, make sure everybody knows, coaches, staff, coaching, and players, and just making sure that all the, sometimes, I'll say this: make this your big time. Make the opportunity your big time. That's it, and that's the experience in the nation. Make this as your big time. I know you're not in the NFL right now. You should be. You think you should be. Okay, but you're not. So guess what? You're here at the AWFC. Make this your big time. Treat it as such. Treat your body the right way. Coaches, get in your playbooks and make your contacts and learn how to be better communicators. You know what I'm saying? Learn to adapt. All these things that help you be successful. Like I said, get the help. If you need help, get help. And it's okay for you to ask, because this is for them. This is for the players to make them better. So, yeah. So that's the only thing I say. Make this your big time and, treat it that way.
I love it. And that is great advice, because a lot of times guys look at it differently when they're not in the NFL. They took a step down, but at the end of the day, if you don't look at the opportunities you're given to get where you want to be as that opportunity, you're never going to get where you want to be, because you're not going to put your full effort forth on the field.
Right.
So I agree wholeheartedly. That is a great point to make. I'm going to leave you with one last question before I let you get out of here, and kind of an interesting one. So, granted, as a coach, I know you always want to win. Obviously, you would, if you had your choice, you probably would have gone undefeated and won the championship game. But do you take pride in everything the way it went last season, with you guys making it to the championship game, even though you lost?
I still watched. I have to admit, I haven't watched the film on the game. I'm still kind of burned up a little bit about it, because I'm a competitor. It was a lesson. It was a lesson, and I want to do better in 2023. And I got the first opponent circled for next season. I don't know who it is yet, but I always got to end with a win, because that's just what I'm about, and I'm a competitor. And I do want to I've always wanted to outwork somebody, but I'm looking forward to 2023. I'm looking forward to compete, and even when we have our meetings, I'm gonna try to be there first. So and getting the people and doing things the right way this season. And all the things that I missed out on, I want to make sure that I take care of those things. But I'm proud. Like I said, I can't take nothing away from the Rush, because they're the champions. They're 2-time champions, and Brandon, Brennan Tate is somebody that I have high respect for. A guy who, when he went down, when Tri-Cities Fire the first season was playing, he had his team in town in Tri-Cities, went down to Reno and took over for that team down there, or it was helping with that football team down there. Saw everything, came back with the rush, and now look at him. And so we compete. Like I said, we're friends. We're all friends. We all respect each other on the field. We compete. Off the field, off the field, we try to help each other. But to answer your question, I'm ready for I'm ready for 2023.
Gotcha. Ready for the redemption tour, basically.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Well, I would love to chat with you more, Coach, but I got a quarterback waiting to speak with me. His name is Nate Mace, so another guy you might want to check out.
Nate Mace.
Yeah.
I hope he's healing up. I hope he's, Nate's also a product here, out here in the Pacific Northwest, and great guy. So good guy to have on your show.
Absolutely.
Representing 253 out there, the South End.
Exactly. I kind of had a feeling you would know who I was talking about when I brought him up.
Oh yeah. And I tell you this, we got some great quarterbacks out here in the Pacific Northwest, and Nate is definitely one of them. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully he's healing. Like I said, he's getting ready for 2023, and I support all players leaving the area. I always want to make sure I check up on him, and he was one of the guys I checked up on. So, shout out to Nate.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I love it. With that being said, I appreciate everything, Coach. I'll definitely keep in touch. Like I said, I'll be covering everybody on your team basically this upcoming season. So I definitely will keep in touch, and I appreciate everything. I mean, you reaching out about your players, giving me the guys that I should be talking to and stuff like that. It's much appreciated.
You're welcome. And you know what, Sam? Thank you for having this platform for all of us, because it's all about the players and the coaches in minor league systems. And, like I said, having spring football and summer football and 365 days of football.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my goal. So with that being said, I have a new phrase that we're coining here. It's the support spring football, not one league, not the XFL, the USFL, support it all of the football.
All of us.
Exactly.
Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure, Coach. With that being said, have a great night, and I'll speak at you later.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.